Why don't we all do it naked? Story time naked. Imagine the views, Clio. And Sunshine was like in the boot of the car, like.
Please not say my name.
What does Jeffree Star say?
Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube. All our bags are gone.
Oh my fucking god, I just got a Snapchat. Okay, I just got this awesome package from Udi and I thought I would share it with you guys because I'm so excited to be partnering with this brand and thanking you guys for sponsoring this video today. A Udi, which is a jumper hoodie thing that's like a blanket, and they have calming blankets which are like heavy blankets. Oh, that is so cute. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Oh my god. This is so cute. It's so big. How cute. Right. This is really exciting. Oh my god, it's huge. Oh my god, I love it. I'm gonna try it on and I'll give you an honest review on what I think about it. Okay. I'm officially never taking this off. Yeah, this is what it looks like. It's nice and long. It is huge. Oh my goodness. It's really soft on the inside. So it's literally like you're just wearing a blanket. It's literally perfect if you want to go camping, if you just, it's winter and you just want to lay in bed, or you're like traveling on a plane. When I go to Vanuatu on the plane, I'm probably going to wear this if I'm allowed to. Might be too big for traveling, but it's literally perfect. I am in love with it. It's like taking a blanket everywhere, but like you can wear it and you don't have to worry about like carrying a blanket and dropping it, and you can literally just ball yourself up into this. An amazing product. 10 out of 10. If you follow my social media, you would have already seen by now that my car got robbed the other day. At first when it happened, I didn't want to tell anyone because I was so embarrassed that I left my car open.
Did you leave it open there? I still feel like you left
I'm convinced that I locked it, but clearly I didn't.
Yeah.
I think you did. Can I just say, I thought that when you made a YouTube video, you like stopped and paused it and started it.
You're so dumb. So when we came back from Macca's and we got to the beach, we went to Brighton Beach and we parked on like the Esplanade, like right in front of the stairs. And we left everything in the car and then we walked down with like some towels. Was that all?
Towels, just bags, speakers.
Just like our phones. But like we
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
take our like our school bags, everything else was school bags, and like our overnight clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah, we probably spent like 2 hours down the beach. And usually like sometimes I have a gut feeling if something's happened, but I literally was blind. Like, did you feel
We were just having like the best time. We didn't even think about it.
Like I had not had a better day in so long, and I thought that everything like was up from like there.
Me and Charlie were like washing off sand at the shower, and Sunshine was like in the boot of the car, like.
Please not say my name.
So we came up from the beach, and me and Charlie were like wiping off sand. Clio went in like her front door, and she was like kind of a bit suspicious, like this wasn't here before, but she didn't really think anything of it. And then Sunshine was in the boot of the car, and she was like, "Where's my school bag?" And she was just like, we didn't even think anything of it. And then she's
I said none of our school
We
bags.
thought she was being stupid. Like,
Everyone was like, shut up,
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Fucking look.
Yeah, we're like, it's there, like it's clearly there, it can't be anywhere else. And then we all went to the boot of the car, and all of our school bags
I ran
were gone.
around from the front door because my like hidden console next to my door was open, and like usually the general person wouldn't know, like wouldn't go in there, and I like don't even open it. I only put my fuel receipts in there. Like it was open, there was receipts everywhere, there was coins on the ground, like everything that was in the front of my car was just on the ground. At first I was like, oh, maybe I left my console open, maybe I knocked it open when I got out, but as soon as Sunshine said the bags were missing, I think it all sort of just fell together.
And then we all just started panicking and like went crazy.
Charlie started crying. Did you tell them how you felt?
Yeah, I was the first one to cry. It was just like scary, like it just didn't feel real at the time. Like we didn't really know what was happening, and so we just kind of like all were standing together and we were like, oh, what do we do now? Like,
And we called the police straight away.
Yeah.
I didn't believe that it happened.
I literally, that's the first time I've ever called 000, and like, I was like shaking. Like, I never thought in my whole life I would have to call 000.
Yeah.
Like,
Literally.
not so young.
And they didn't even come to like.
no, they didn't care.
They didn't.
They
say
literally
much.
didn't care. They're like, we don't think this is an emergency, like just call this other number. And then I got on the phone to this lady, she asked some questions and everything about it, and she asked if there was any people that had security cameras around us, and there happened to be a house right across from my car that had a security camera. So
Me and Claire went and
yeah,
asked
was it
them.
you that
Yeah.
Javro ran with me up to the house, and like we knocked, like I thought it was one house.
Yeah,
But it was-
same. I was like, there's
It
a
was
security
two
camera
houses.
right there.
Yeah,
What
it
is
was two houses cut in half, and I thought it was like one house. So I went to the first door that I saw, and it was two ladies. It was a mum and her daughter. Like they
But
were
they were
older, older ladies, and they like were hugging me when I was, because I bawled my eyes out.
I
like-
burst into tears when I said it because I couldn't quite process the fact that we just got robbed.
And as soon as I said that like my car got broken into, that's when I like bawled my eyes out. Did you even cry?
Sunshine, darling, how
No,
are you
you
feeling?
did. Sunshine, you did. You did. You had a few tears. I was dead.
I did not cry.
I had no emotion.
No, neither did I.
I was
You
like,
obviously had emotion because
Really?
you just said you bawled your eyes out.
Yeah, but before
No,
that, I
but, like, when
literally
I-
felt
Before she
nothing.
said
because
it?
I was helping Charlie, remember?
Yeah, you were.
I was like
helping me
dead. Like I was
I
like,
did not cry.
I didn't think anything happened.
As soon as you realised all your makeup was gone.
That is when she.
No, that was when we got home, and I was like, oh my god, that was the only thing I cared about.
So yeah, once we sort of realised what had happened, and we asked the ladies across the road, they said they didn't have security cameras, and that the neighbours that did, they were overseas. And
So what was that thing on the house?
That was a security camera, but it was the other side of the house.
Yeah, it was for the other side.
Oh, wow.
And
Did you still not know that?
Even Sunshine.
it's hard to communicate everything that we all know as a group. It was just so overwhelming. Like at the time when I thought everything would be stolen, I was like, we're not getting it back.
I went home.
Yeah, because the police officer told us to go home. She's like, there's no point waiting around. We're going to send an officer to your house, so just go home.
Everyone was being so nosy when we're all
That
like,
policeman was nice.
when we're all going crazy though. Did you see that? Everyone was like kind of standing near the car, like sussing it out but not helping.
I'm surprised no one asked if we were
Yeah.
okay. Because like
No
We
one
all
asked.
burst into tears. Well, not all of us. And these pretty much just Charlie.
It's just me at this point.
Yeah. And these people were just like whatever. But we're all like swearing.
I
going
cried
sideways.
at first when I told the ladies,
We
because
get it.
I was so embarrassed.
Okay.
People aren't even going to take us seriously because we're laughing, but this is so awkward to film a YouTube video with 4 people, and I feel like,
We're all just start
I
laughing
feel
at
like we
everything.
all don't think this all still doesn't feel real.
Yeah, no,
Does
we
it not? Like,
I just don't think we did get robbed.
Shut up.
I think we did.
Had a little
Okay,
borrow.
so here it gets a little bit more juicy, right? So
Clear as the policeman's.
Wait, did we close your front door?
No.
here we go, round 2 of getting robbed. Next video,
Oh, double
part 2.
check. And then we get home and Cleo's mum's like, oh, like blah 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 blah. And then,
Told us to write notes.
Yeah, she told us to write down like everything that was in our bags, like everything we could think of. Obviously, we can't remember every.
In shock,
Single
I could
thing.
not think straight. I was talking to someone and none of my sentences were making sense.
Oh, I had no idea what I was saying. Oh, also in the car, my phone broke and it was like, it said you need to connect to iTunes, but we didn't have a freaking laptop to connect it to fix it.
It
So
was like needed to be restored or something.
Yes.
It was like everything that could possibly go wrong that night went wrong.
yeah, literally every single thing, like everything you think of, happened. Okay, and then so we're writing all the stuff down.
So the police only came to my house because there was a footprint in my car. They were going to call CSI out, but they didn't because they don't think the footprint was like evidential enough or something like that. So he pretty much told us that he was going to go back down to Brighton, search houses for security cameras and like do a little bit of investigating.
Sometimes I'll tell you.
Okay, so then once the police left, I went inside and I got this Snapchat from this guy that I've never talked to before, and it was a photo of a consent form that was in my school bag, and I knew that straight away that was in my school bag. and it had my name on it, and I don't know what else it had on it.
It just kind of said, it was like for outdoor ed.
Yeah, it was something to do with that. So he sent me a photo of it and also my phone charger. So that was, and Charlie's drink bottle. So that was like really weird. And then
that was scary.
Yeah.
I had already been through it. That stole it.
Because it was so close to the car. Like it was literally 10 meters away.
His house was like pretty much like just across the road from where my car was parked. And when he said that, we didn't even know who he was.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was. So they've obviously like, the people who's stolen this stuff has obviously like gone across the Esplanade and like gotten rid of everything they don't need, because obviously they don't need like a note. So
yeah, so we pretty much wrote down everything that got stolen out of our bags.
And then Cleo's mum said, do you want to go back to...
Yeah, I think when we got that Snapchat that said that a consent form with like Sunshine's name on it was found down there, Mum pretty much just said like, let's get in the car and go down. So we jumped in the car, went back down to the beach, and drove down the street that boy had like lived on the corner of, because clearly it was down
where
there,
we parked,
which is pretty much opposite where we parked. And we were driving like slowly down the street, and like Charlie yelled out, like, what did you say? There was like,
I said, oh, there's a piece of paper on the ground there.
yeah, and then Mum sort of turned around and I was like, oh, I'll get out, and thinking like you know, you watch a crime show and they're like, oh, there's a piece of paper, and they get it and it's evidence. And I was like, as if we're actually gonna find anything. And I picked it up and it had Sunshine Jabber's name on it. I think my heart literally dropped.
I was like, what the fuck? This is what someone gave me. Like, this is our work. Like,
it was just a feeling of violation as well. It was like finding a shit on the ground, being just thrown.
So we walked back down the street, not really thinking much that we're gonna find anything, but we were kind of like, oh my god, we could find something. And we were like, what did we find at first? We found some like recess. It was like,
yeah, we found Clio's
my Belvitas,
and they'd been like ripped open, tried one, and then threw it on the ground like it was shit. Like it was just gross.
They clearly opened it. They were spread out, just
Oh,
they were
like in a patch
yeah.
next to the packing.
And then I was kind of like, this is getting weirder. And then we're walking down, and there was this bush, and I could see some stuff, and I walk behind it, and I just see like so much stuff from my bag, like so much, like 5 or 6 things, like pads, notebooks, like brochures from when I went on like this trip outside of school, and like just everything from like school, my drink bottle, like so much stuff.
Is your drink bottle there?
Yeah, like this plastic piece of shit. Like, yeah, just so much stuff there, and I just burst into tears when I saw that, because it was like, they've been through all my stuff already and it's just everywhere.
Yeah, like. And Charlie called me and she like, what did you even say to me? I don't even remember.
I don't remember because we were like panicking.
Yeah.
She just told me like, come down here, and I was like, I swore, and I was like, are you fucking serious? I grabbed my flat, videoed on my phone, me like running down there.
Where? What?
Like running down the street and like seeing it, and it was just in this bush, just a pile of like sanitary pads and stuff. Like that.
Did you keep the pads?
No, they're still at my house. That is like a full-on violation of privacy. Like, you're like, you know, that's stuff you don't want people seeing, touching, or like, now it's just been thrown all over the street. We've got lots of photos and videos and stuff. I tried to video as much as I could, but I think the rest of the night I didn't video or film much, because I think once we realised that our stuff was actually everywhere, it was shocking. Like,
confronting.
It was confronting. You just didn't know what emotions to feel finding your stuff all over the ground.
And then from like seeing that, we walked up the road towards like the train station, and there was just like more like food from our bags and stuff.
Yeah, and
like,
when we were walking up, I saw Mum talking to this man that lived on the street, and he was saying that what they do is they'll catch a train down from Marion or somewhere down to the beach, rob people's cars, and go back and catch the train back home. And he said that it happens like
further than Marion.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we all walked up the road to the train station, where we didn't really find anything, I don't think.
No.
And we were just like walking along the tracks and just looking underneath.
More food wrappers, I think that's what we found. But that was about all.
Yeah. There was a man that worked for like the railroad incidents or something.
Yeah.
And he was driving past at the time and he saw us like looking over and was like, oh, I wonder what these girls are doing. So then he turned around, and because he was driving that way, and then he turned around and he
Keep going, keep going.
and he turned around and he pulled up next to Cleo's mum's car, and they were talking for a bit. And then when we walked back down off the tracks, we walked down the tunnel things, and then we met him in the tunnel, and he was like talking to us, and I can't remember what he said.
Yeah, I don't really remember too much as well. But he did tell us that like he has access to, you know, be able to access footage and stuff if we ever needed it. And
Also, he could have seen footage of them getting on the train with them.
yeah, but they're not 100% sure if they caught a train or a bus. But like even that security footage could have caught the bus station just across the road. Like, you know, we didn't go to that extent in the end, but we could have if
Yeah,
we
we could
wanted
have
to.
totally.
And then after that, we got in the car and went home, and you know, nothing much else happened that night. I think we were all shocked and went to bed late, couldn't really sleep, and
Yeah.
it was just a lot that was going on that night. And the next day, actually no, that night I got a call from a lady that was
The policeman.
the policewoman that was asking me a few different questions. She was just going over like what was stolen, and like we had all our lists written down, and I had to read out what was stolen, how much on average it would have costed, identifying stuff so that, you know, if they saw someone and they saw one of our pieces with them or whatever, then, you know, so forth, you get what I mean. And we went like, and I just told her everything, and she hung up, and then we went to bed. Pretty much wasn't very interesting, just giving a police report pretty much over the phone. And then we got like a reference number thing, like a case file number, so we have like our own police case going on pretty much.
Cool. Yeah. And then we woke up.
The next morning.
We were meant to so we were getting ready for like school, because we were gonna go to the police station and just give in our pieces of paper that had all our stuff on it, and just like kind of talk to the police. And then Charlie was straightening her hair, and she gets this notification on her phone saying your MacBook has been turned on, and so it shows us like the location of where,
like the street address,
the exact address of where the people that had stolen our laptops were.
What are your thoughts right now, Charlie?
I'm fucking shaking so much, dude. Like, it's scary that someone else is on your laptop. Is it still active?
Yeah, a minute ago.
It's on 20%.
How are you feeling, Jeffrey?
Fucking, I still haven't processed it. Like, it's not happening. Like, random joggers are going through my shit right now. How weird is that?
I agree.
So we called the police straight away.
I like got on my phone and I dialed the police.
Okay, I just called the police, and told them that it was like active, and they're like, okay, well in half an hour if it's still there, call back and we'll go and like get it. And it's like they didn't even ask for an address, like they didn't ask for anything. Like, what if there was like a convicted felon that lived at that address and they like 100% knew?
What if they've got like
Did you
crack
show
and
on
shit
the
there?
map where we are and where my laptop is?
No.
And I gave them my like case number and everything, and like I told them the address that it was at, and he was like talking to me, and he was like, alright, well in like half an hour, if it's still at the same address, then call us back and we'll go and take you there, like we'll meet you there. And I was like, okay. We sit there, we watch it for about 15 minutes, the laptop's getting tracked, and then it dies. And so I just called them back up, and again I was like, it's staying in the same spot, but it's dead now. And he was like, alright, well we're gonna meet you guys there. So like we literally, I was still on the phone, got up and was like chucking clothes to everyone, getting dressed, and he goes, in an hour and a half we'll meet you there. And I was like, oh my god. We just got ready so quickly, and then now we had to sit around and wait, and then finally we'd like gotten ready for school and everything was packed up, and we drove to the address that the laptop was sort of pinpointed on. My mum came with us.
So, do you have your glasses?
No, I can't see.
Oh,
The bus driver's literally stuck.
what a fool.
He's reversing.
The bus driver's stuck.
He's gonna tailgate.
Oh shit. I need to go past this bus. But I can't now, all this traffic's coming.
What an absolute idiot. Javray, can you film that?
Wait, how do I film it? I know if I filmed it.
My god. Okay, so basically we are on the way to go and get my laptop from this like house of this person who stole our bags. There's probably more than one person.
Look, show mum. Mum waited for us because she bloody bus stopped.
Stupid bus. Yeah, so it's pretty nerve-wracking.
I'm fucking excited more than nervous.
So it's basically a 10-minute drive to this person's house. We're meeting the police there. And then we'll probably, after we do this, we'll probably go to the police station.
Yeah, we'll give our little like
Lists of what we lost or got stolen. We didn't lose it.
But we sat like away from the house so they wouldn't see us.
Yeah, we sat just down the road from it. We're currently sitting down the road from where this is. It's sort of like on the corner, like just there. And Mum's. Where did my mum go? Just there. Oh. Mum's there. And we're waiting for the police. I just spat.
Yeah. Snap this on.
It's a bit hot out here. We have been sitting here for like
45 minutes.
like nearly an hour.
I'm sweating. My armpits
Yeah, it's so hot in here.
so moist.
And apparently the patrol cars are on their way to meet us, but we've been waiting here. We got told to get here at 9:30 and
Then we got
still
told
not
they'd call
here.
us back to tell us that they're coming.
Yes, and they never called us back. I had to call them up and ask them what was happening because we have to go to school. We're late, quite a lot late.
It's like almost recess.
And I mean, not complaining, but like,
Yeah.
I just want to know what's happening. Like sitting in a car for like an hour doesn't.
That's the police.
We waited a whole hour.
And they didn't get there until like 10:30, 11.
You're not gonna.
Is she getting the monsters? Oh shit. Hey cutie.
Hey, Ed.
Oh!
I think
Put them in the fridge while we film this.
I'll put you in the fridge. Guys, school's be picking us up in 30 minutes.
So let's get this done.
Shit, okay, let's finish this. Okay. So pretty much, we sat there for
I just did that on live TV.
we had ride past us. They seemed fine, like, you know, they weren't suspicious or anything.
They were just
They had
looked
to-
really
They
scary.
they sort of looked at us funny and laughed a little bit, like we didn't really think much of it at the time. You know, Javray was on edge and was like, it was them, it was them.
I knew it. I was so like determined that it was them, but like it wasn't their house. The house that the laptop was.
Yeah.
So we had them ride past, and then finally the police rocked up and they asked us a few questions like the laptops, and we just identified, and they said, well, pretty much they can't do anything because they don't have a warrant to search houses. Unfortunately, what they can only do is get invited into our house, and unless the people invited them in, they weren't gonna find anything. No, go away! So yeah, they went and door knocked, people invited them in, they searched their house, they found nothing. And we sort of were hopeless. Like,
They went across the road to another house too though, which was
yeah, and they weren't there.
yeah, they weren't there.
They weren't there. So we just thought like, okay, well when Mum pretty much said they're just not gonna find it, like nothing's gonna happen. The police officer said to me, they were like, we're really gonna try and get a warrant so we can search these people's houses, but we don't know if it's possible. Okay, so we just spoke to the police. The detectives are saying that they don't want to walk into a place and it not be the right house. They want to be absolutely certain, and I'm just going to turn this off. And because it is pinging at a location where there's 4 different, like, it's like a government housing, so there's like a big house and there's like 4 different sections. So they're going to go to the house, they're going to talk to them and ask
ask them if they know anything or if they've had a history with them or anything.
Or if they look dodgy.
Yep, to convince the detectives, but if they can't get anything, there's really not much we can do.
Before we go, what type of laptop is it?
Well, there's 3 MacBook Airs.
And there's one Acer.
I can't hear it.
1 Acer and 3 MacBook Airs.
Okay, alright.
Yep. Oh my fucking god, they're so cute. So now we'll sit out and we'll let you know what happens.
After the whole ordeal with the cops coming to the house where the laptop was located, we then drove to the, was it Sturt? The Sturt police station, and there was roadworks everywhere, so it was like really kind of difficult to get in to the actual police station.
I could not find the car park.
That was not your fault though. And then we walked into the police station after we finally found the car park. So we walked into the police station and we handed them in our lists of what we lost, and like
We had to
not
write all the
really
prices
that we
on
got
there.
Stolen.
We had to write the prices on there.
Yeah, like an estimate. And then we then walked back out to the car to find the...
Yep, we finished at the police station and we went to Mackie's and went to school. We signed in, sort of talked.
We went to see if we could get your
I
research
think
project.
we went to Woodtech, and when we walked out of Woodtech to go to class, I noticed that I had missed phone calls from the police, but because they call on an unknown number, you can't call them back. So I just had to sit it out and wait, and like sort of a bit nervous because I don't know what they're calling about. Like, what if they found something? What if they didn't find something? What if they like are telling me they couldn't get a search warrant and like nothing was just gonna happen? Like,
Yeah.
so I walked into a research project and I was sort of, you know, pissed off and upset and just not very happy. Like, we all just didn't want to be at school. And I walked in and there was a girl sitting down and sort of said hi to her, kept walking, and then my phone started calling and it was the police station. And I answered and they were like, is this Clio? And I was like, yes. And he was like, how are you? And I was like, yeah, I'm getting there. And he was like, well, I have really good news for you. Some of your stuff has been located at a house near the address you gave us. And I literally burst into tears and I was like, are you serious? Like, I said to him, I was like, are you actually serious? Like, you're not like, I'm not saying you're not joking, but like, I was like, are you actually serious? And he was like bags have been found, laptops have been found, like we've identified your laptops, but we need you to come in and identify them for us just to double check that they were all of ours, because we didn't have your serial number for your laptop, so we didn't know Sunshine's serial number, so we had to like identify everything. So I got off the phone with them. They said they'd call me back later and update me with any more information. I ran out of class and I met Charlie, and then we told Javre. Javre burst into tears.
I was in English and I got a phone call from Charlie, and Charlie was like, Javre, come out right now. And I was like, what? And I was already like on the verge of tears because my class was like, where were you? Why were you late? Like,
everyone didn't actually care how much it affected us. They just wanted to know details. What happened with the police? Why the police at your house? Like, what got stolen? No one actually asked if we were okay. And I felt like that hurt a little bit because, you know, there were a few people that were like, are you okay? Like, how are you feeling? But most of them didn't care. They were just like, tell me the goss, tell me the goss. And I told a few people, I said that I just didn't want to talk about it. Some people respected it. Some didn't. Yeah. And like, in shock, you don't really want to talk about it at the moment until we'd sorted this all out. Like, now we're okay to discuss what happened sometimes, like, but people trying to force it out of you and what happened while you're still in shock, it's not a very nice feeling. So.
Yeah. And I just ran out of the class crying, and then yeah, Clio and Charlie were like pretty much right there when I got there. And then yeah, we kind of found out.
Yeah, we were all sort of in shock, and we had to tell Sunshine, and I had to call up my mum, and then, you know, the day, it felt a little bit better. We got there so late in the day that we only had 2 lessons left anyway, and...
Javre's been crying.
Stop!
And then I was in my last lesson of the day, and I got a phone call from the police, and they said, you know, is it possible that tomorrow morning you can come in and meet us so that you can identify all of your products? And we want to ask you a few questions. We want to write a police report. Like, it was like an interrogation, like an interview that we had to do. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. I can come in. I'm free in the morning. And then he was like, can you make sure that all of the other girls can possibly come with you? And I was like, well, yeah, like, I guess they should be able to all come again. So I had to call all of them and make sure that they could stay the night at mine again, because we had to go into the police station in the morning, and you know, these two girls live like half an hour, 40 minutes away.
So then it was next day pretty much. Like a little bit of stuff happened, but nothing that's like really that relevant.
We sort of just like got ready to go in, and we all were, I think, a little bit, were you a bit nervous?
I was
myself. Definitely nervous.
We were a bit nervous.
I didn't know what to expect.
And we all had to meet up at, they gave me the number of the officer that was going to meet us, and they had to meet us at Chibo's, which is a
in Westfield Marion.
In Westfield Marion. So we actually had to meet in a shopping centre, because they have a secret little office in there that we got walked down to and everything.
She didn't know where it is. It's in Sports Girl.
Secret.
In Sports Girl, you pull a coat hanger and it comes out.
They took us into a secret office that they have in there, and it was really, really, really intimidating.
It was scary.
When they split us up, like they took 2 at a time.
Yeah.
That was scary.
Because they were like, can we take Clio and Sunshine or Javray? And I was like, why are those people in particular? Like,
yeah, and they were like, it was kind of like, I thought we were all just going to go in a room together, grab our laptops and then leave. Like, I thought that's what it was going to be.
yeah.
But it was not that at all.
No, so they took me and Sunshine first. Actually, just to mention, my dad came for moral support, even though he like came and left.
Good.
Like he had like sat with them while they went in theirs, and as soon as we got out, he just left.
We were in there so much longer than they were.
Yeah, we were in there for probably like half an hour.
But you guys-
We gave most of the details we possibly could, and they pretty much laid everything out on the floor, and we had to say which one was ours. And originally they told me we found bags, we found like most of your stuff, and we walked in, there was about 10 things on the floor. And if you look at our list, we had over 10 things missing, each of us.
And these
At the
bags
minimum.
that were there weren't ours, so they've obviously stolen other people's bags.
They stole other people's stuff, and I was like, okay, that's my laptop, okay, that's there, identified everything, and all I got back was my laptop and my purse. I lost AirPods, I lost money, I lost jewellery, I lost like a lot of stuff out of my car, because like clearly it was my car, like I had more stuff in there.
Yeah.
And most of my stuff got stolen, and I didn't get it back. And and my school bag, we didn't get our school bags back, only Charlie. Like, we didn't actually get much back, because people keep asking, oh, did you get your stuff back? And I'm like, well, yeah, but no. Like, I got the things that meant the most to me, other than my AirPods. Kind of sad about that. You know, we sort of mostly got our stuff back. Like, Sunshine, do you want to talk about your makeup?
I got, in my school bag that got stolen, I had a big makeup bag full of makeup, and it was like almost full to the top.
It was high-end makeup.
It was
like
a lot of makeup.
like good brand and stuff, and then I lost that and stuff, and then when we were getting interviewed and stuff, they got me to identify what makeup was mine, and they had this big off bag of makeup.
The brown, I saw it too, yeah.
And tipped it out of stuff, and it was so much makeup, and like they've obviously stolen this much makeup from other people too. Like, I wasn't the only person that they've stolen from.
And the lady actually told me that the person that stole our stuff was a woman and her children, and she'd stolen from Marion, which is the place that we met the cops at. She'd broken into this guy's car, stolen his cigarettes, and smoked a 30-pack of cigarettes, dropped her kids to the bus station, went back to the car, broke into it again, stole heaps of stuff, and then caught a train home. And that's how they identified her, because she'd gone and like they must have seen her with our stuff as well. So and
How
she's
many
known.
kids does she have?
I don't know, they didn't really go much into detail with
That's
her.
the thing,
but
it wouldn't have looked that like weird, because she just
got
wouldn't have got
kids.
our school bags to go on the kids' backs.
yeah, probably. Pretty much they just said to us like, the lady used the word fluid. She said that like it's really fluid, and like we'll find some things, and the rest they said they'll sell Javray's laptop off for a $20 thing of
Bag
cocaine.
of crack or some shit.
Like,
Crap.
I got my purse back, and I got one of my debit cards back, and the other one's gone, God knows where.
Lost some of your ID.
Yep.
They asked us to go to court.
See them.
Apparently she's a reoffender. She just gets caught and does it again. The moral of the story is don't leave your car unlocked. Oh my god, what about how they changed all our laptops?
Oh yeah, they changed my laptop wallpaper to brats. Like Barbie dolls. Brats.
So they obviously would have handed over like the cheap Acer that Javray had to the kids, because it would have been worth fucking.
Oh,
They
she
had
fingerprints from kids on it.
our
They were gonna
laptops
sell
were covered.
Clios.
they were trying to sell mine. They were trying to completely wipe it. Like, they changed my password. I was on the phone to Apple last night for like an hour on hold just to get them to unlock my computer. My camera went flat and they also stole my camera charger, so that's great. But they changed everyone's lock screen to the Bratz dolls. I had kids' fingerprints all over my laptop with, you could see through the laptop, fingerprint dust that was all over it. Charlie's was like untouched and Sunshine's was like untouched.
That's because I had a good password.
Okay,
Yeah,
1,
my
2,
password was
3,
1, 2, 3,
4 and
4.
question mark aren't the best passwords.
Don't tell them.
Well,
I'm gonna change it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They wouldn't get it to 6 surely.
clearly I'm with the most dumbest. This is why I got robbed. Because you're so dumb. I'm personally like leaving the house to start and I got anxiety, like packing stuff into my car. Like packing to go to someone's house, it made me nervous. Like it's got people look at it like, okay, that's stupid. You just got robbed.
I
Like
would
it doesn't
look at
matter.
it if it didn't happen to me. I'd be like, oh, they're such pussies. Like, grow up.
Yeah, a lot of people. Someone did say to me like they don't understand how it feels unless that happened to them, and it sucks. It really does. It's a weird feeling of violation because your stuff gets thrown everywhere. Your stuff gets touched and played with, and like my laptop being unlocked and things being changed on it, and like photos and colors and. It sucks.
It's fucking scary.
It is scary.
No, it's really fun.
So,
I really liked it.
Prank
Just
y'all! We didn't even get robbed!
We didn't even get robbed. It was all a joke.
No, but seriously, we got robbed, and you need to make sure you lock your car door.
Lock your car.
And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry if this was a long and overwhelming video. We probably missed out information on things,
yeah.
but there was so much that went on.
Ooh.
Okay, we've got to go, and we're having a little bit of a thing tonight, and yeah. So we're just trying to move on past this point. People kept paying me out the other day when I went back to the beach. Oh, did you lock your car? But I did. Yeah. It happens, and it happens to everyone. It's a learning curve. Okay, guys, please like and subscribe.
Bye. I love you.